My name is Erica Graves, and welcome to Finishing Strong. Today we're going to talk about you become what you believe. Think about that for a second. You become what you believe. Again, my name is Erica Graves. I am a mother, a business owner, and a motivational speaker. But who am I really? Who are you? Have you ever thought about that? Who am I? What do I believe? Who do I believe that I am? That's a question that we ask ourselves. So today in Finishing Strong, that's what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about who are you and who you believe that you are. Have you ever just wanted to take a step back and think, if only I had a restart button? If only I can just reset my life and start over, if I can just begin again, then my life would just be perfect. Have you thought that way? I certainly have. Do you think it's realistic that you can start over? Well, guess what? I'm here today to tell you that you can. And then you may say, start over? Really, Erica? Start over? Do you see my past? You see my mistakes? Do you see my life? How do I start over? Well, I can definitely help you with that. Starting over does not mean that your life stopped, that we have that little easy stop button and start it again. Starting over is trying to capture what it is that you want in your life, what is the outcome that you wish to see, and that's what you strive for. So that's what we'll be covering today. But before we can consider ourselves as conquerors and we're finishing strong, we have to begin, right? But then you say, where do I begin? What do I do? How do I start over? And how do I begin to develop and cultivate the life that I know that I deserve, the life that I want? It's going to be a pretty fun journey when we talk about that today. Okay, think of this. The year is about to end. The new year is coming in. You are so excited because here's a new year, a new start. I am going to lose those 20 pounds that I wanted to lose. I am going to make more money. I cannot wait until this year is over so that I can do whatever it is that you wish that you would have done the previous year. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever had that anticipation for the new year coming in? Well, I know I have. I remember a year that to me it seemed like it was the year from hell. And I did not know how I was going to get through that year. So when the year was over, the only thing that I could think was, thank God, this year is over. Now I can start over and I can accomplish the things that I wanted. And I was very aggressive about it, like, oh, this year is gone. I'm so glad. I hated this year. But I had to think about it. My aggression was towards the year. This year was the worst. I hate it. I can't wait until the next day and it's a new year and I can start over. Well, guess what? The year did nothing. The year did exactly what it was supposed to do. Day by day, hour by hour, it progressed. The difference was, what did I do? Or what didn't I do to make my year the outcome that I was expecting? So this is what we do. We'll make our resolution. We're excited about January the 1st. We are in our plans and we have our actions going and we have our affirmations and our resolutions. And then by March, I don't pick it up as much. I'm not as excited about it by March. And then by May, you're feeling like your year's just as bad as the last year was. Now, if you could just make it through the rest of the year, you'll be fine. And then you can start all over again next year. Well, let's jump off of the roller coaster. Let's get off the cycle and let's start to begin today. You don't have to wait until the beginning of the month. You don't have to wait until the beginning of the year. And you don't have to wait until the beginning of the week. You can start today. So first, we determine what is it in our lives that we want to change? What is it that we want to see? And you start thinking about that by thinking about what is your goal? What would you like to see? How would you like to see your life change? Is it financial? Is it relations? Is it a job? What is it? Would you like to travel the world? Would you like to spend time with your children? What is your goal? Because once you determine what is your goal, what is your ultimate goal, then you can start working towards that ultimate goal. But you have to know where you are. And I know a lot of times I used to say, and that was before I became a lot wiser, I would say, oh, I wish I could just erase the past, or I wish I could just pick things out of my life that I didn't like, that didn't feel good, that didn't make sense. I wish I could just throw them away and that not be a part of my life. But guess what? Those disappointments, those hurts, those failures, those things that made me upset, everything that I did not understand that was, I guess, a negative part of my life, developed me into the person that I am. So if I went back and I picked those things out of my life, then really who would I be? Would I be the wiser person that I am now? Would I be the more patient person that I am now? And then who would benefit from the lessons that I've learned? I said I'm a mother. Would I be able to teach my children what to do and what not to do? Would I be able to be a better business owner or a better leader if I had not failed and made mistakes in the past? Would I be able to motivate or encourage other people if I had not had things in my own life that I had to overcome? That's one golden thing about negative things that happen in our life. When we change the way that we think about them and we begin to use those experiences as lessons, what am I learning from this? Not why me. That'll change your thought, and then it'll begin to change your life. But then you ask, so okay, Erica, what is this restart button you're talking about? What is this begin again thing that you're talking about? If I told you that you had the power within you to change your life today, would you believe me? Well, it's true, you do. The power is within you. And it begins in your mind. It begins in your subconscious and your conscious mind on how you can change your life by the way that you think. Your thoughts develop your words. Your words encourage your actions. So if I think prosperity, I'm going to speak prosperity, and I'm going to do things that's going to bring prosperity into my life. Can you see how that chain reaction works? In your mind, out your mouth, in your actions. Just that nugget alone, your life can change today. It doesn't matter if you have something that has been a thorn in your past, or even more scary, something that you're facing today. You can still take those same discomforts in life and change it. You may be looking at a mountain of bills right now, and looking at that mountain of bills and looking at this is how much you have to pay and this is how much you have. But guess what? You can still choose to think positively about what you see, because the ultimate goal is to make yourself understand that you can be abundant, you can be prosperous, and you can pay every bill that's there, because now you're thinking as a prosperous person and not a person that is in debt, that's struggling, and that's depressed. One of the things that helped to kind of give me this understanding is putting ourselves in the relation of nature. I'm going to use nature as an example because we are a part of nature. We are one with nature. And when we step aside of that is when we run into conflict and friction. Think about this. Nature is a harmonious flow, continually going. Think about an ocean. Nothing has to disturb it. It's a continuous flow. Think about the wind. Nothing has to touch it. It's a continuous flow. Even more practical, let's think of like a bird. Have you ever seen a bird looking and stressed out and worried about where he's going to live? Have you ever seen a bird worrying about where he's going to get his food? The bird is in a continuous flow with nature, so everything is provided for him. And when you think of abundance, think of everything around you. Everything around you is abundant. Have you ever thought about how many drops of water is in a glass? Have you ever thought about how many blades of grass is on your lawn? Everything around you is in abundance. So if we were created to flow harmoniously in abundance, why is it that humans are the only ones that don't see it? Or some humans? Because in our minds, we have convinced ourselves based on what we see that it's just not enough. It's not enough to go around. There's no abundance for me because I was born on the wrong side of the tracks, or I was born in the wrong country, or I was born by different parents, or I was born a different color. What is the handicap that you placed on your life to make yourself think that there isn't enough for you? So when we think about nature and we think about abundance, we think about if I was created above the birds, the grass, the water, the wind, and if that's flowing harmoniously, why wouldn't I? Harmonious is harmonious thoughts of love, thoughts of forgiveness, thoughts of peace, thoughts of joy, thoughts of abundance, thoughts of prosperity. And anything that goes against that current can only come against negativity. So that's where we see lack, disappointment, and hurt in our lives because we are flowing against the current of the harmonious flow of nature. I know this probably sounds like, oh, okay, Erica, what are you talking about? Seriously, think about it. Our minds were developed and created to stay in a direct connection with our Creator. And our Creator says that everything is abundant. Everything belongs to me. So if I'm not lined up with what I know to be true, then there is the disconnection. So when I say begin again, we're going to start with training our minds. Did you know that when you start to really be conscious of how you speak, you start to be really conscious about what you think, that's a full-time job. Because I have caught myself in my positive self can just start thinking of something that would change my mood almost immediately. And I would have to realign myself, understand, wait a minute, what am I thinking about? What just gave me that thought that produced this feeling? And guess what? Thoughts will come without your permission. So you really do have to start to train it. It's a muscle that's a lot stronger than the muscle. When you start to train your mind, it's every day, constantly. What am I thinking? What am I saying? What am I seeing? What am I listening to? What am I reading? These are all the things that I'm very protective now of what I allow to come into my space. I watch what I hear. I watch what I read. I watch what I listen to because I have to keep myself in line with the harmonious thoughts that I am abundant. I am blessed. I am joy. I am happy. And it doesn't matter what my situation is because I can find a way to keep my mind right. And guess what? If you believe in the law of attraction, that what you control, what you think of the most is what you attract to yourself. So if I think negativity, if I think it's never going to happen, if I think that my life is over, if I think this is the hand that I was dealt with, so I may as well just live with it, then guess what? That's exactly what I'm going to get. But if I think creative and if I start thinking that I can do this, I am an overcomer, I am abundant, I am smart, I am creative, I am intelligent. And let me pause for a second. I don't have to have a PhD to be considered intelligent. And for those that have one, I applaud you and congratulations because it is a definite achievement. But that doesn't define who the real person is. I've met plenty of intelligent people that did not have a PhD. So when I say I am prosperous, that doesn't mean that I had to have $1 million in the bank before I started saying that I was prosperous, before I started saying that I was abundant. So it's the perspective of your life that you have to start changing. And when you start changing your thoughts and start changing that perspective, your life is guaranteed to change because you become what you believe. If I have to say that over and over again for you to really to connect, you become what you believe. So start thinking, what do I believe? What do I believe that I am? I heard a story one time about how circus elephants are trained. This was really funny for me because I had no idea. I just wondered how were they able to get these humongous animals to do exactly what they wanted to do. Well, when the elephant is born, when he's a baby, they tie a string to the elephant's leg so that the elephant can only go but so far. So as the elephant grows, he already knows that this is the only distance that he can go. So in that length of distance, he is only staying within that length. So he's getting bigger, he's getting stronger, and a lot of times that string doesn't change. It's the same string, it's the same distance, but the elephant has been trained mentally that this is the furthest that you can go. If the elephant really could think like we could, knowing that I am bigger than the people that are training me, I am stronger than the thing that's tying my foot, I can go as far as I want to go, how long do you think the elephant will stay on that rope? Now let's take that analogy back to us. Let's just say your chain is a chain of, I wasn't born with a family that had a lot of money, chain around your ankle. And I feel like the city that I live in is the only place that I can go. So I'm not going to school anywhere else. I'm not traveling anywhere else. I'm only staying within the area that I felt like that was my comfort zone, that I feel like that's where I'm supposed to be. So you miss out on everything that life has for you because you have become trained to stay right where you are. That's a sad thought. And that's how a lot of us are living our lives. We won't stretch out of our comfort zone and understand that there is a huge world of opportunities for us. When you really start to appreciate who you are, not your title, not your bank account, not your degrees, but who you are, you'll start to develop so many characteristics that you did not know that you had, the talents that you had. Your talents will become limitless. And you would find the freedom to be the person that you would believe yourself to be. So today, I hope I did a good job at helping you to see that you become what you believe. So if you want to do better, you want to make more money, you want to see your relationships change, you want to see your life become the abundant life that you know that you can have, you can do that. And when you do that, it's by training your mind. Thank you so much for joining me with Finishing Strong. Our next talk is going to be, how do I change my mind? How do I train my mind? What do I do? Because that is a process, and I understand it because I have gone through it and I'm still going through it. So I'm going to be able to walk you step by step in the process of changing your mind to change your life.